Right, press. Ready, run, present, arm, over, arm, left, face, up, face, forward, march, left, left, right, march, left, march,
Wants to participate. Some cadets aren't as physical as others. Some cadets simply just don't want to. They're not motivated. It also takes too long to input the scores, seeming it takes about a week or so to do it. And absences slow down the scoring process, such as if cadets are suspended or an ISS or just sick. This is our data graph to show you our previous scores, our previous participation percentages. The red and blue here from last year and increasing our participation. Down here is our first semester scorings, and they're all very low.
First semester scoring. Okay, so not that. You got more brief on that?
No, I'm sorry, I misspoke. I didn't mean scoring. It's the percent of participation.
So for this school year, it's showing about 58%, 58% for the mile run it. I think that's a taken completed it, correct?
That's also good stuff. Right. But this is for our first semester action. These are our education team goals. We broke it down into these SMART categories for you. Our first goal is specifically wanting to ensure 95% of participation in all cadets through all the cadets. Our measurable one is the track per day per event to make sure all the scores are put in every single day. Our attainable goal is to keep improvements from last year. We obviously don't want to not use the improvements and start fresh. Our realistic goal is to consider habitual absences. Like I said, there are multiple reasons cadets may not be there, and we wanted to consider that when we were trying to reach our goals. And for time bound, we wanted to ensure that Cadet Challenge gets completed within 5 days. This concludes the introduction portion of the briefing. I will be followed by the S1 cadet captain after. Subject to your question.
Good morning, I am Cadet Captain Adam Garter. I am the S1, the Personnel Officer of the Pioneers Battalion. My contribution to the Continuous Improvement Project was creating the Alpha spreadsheet that we use to keep physical track of the scores. What I did was I sorted it by LET level. For the first semester we start with the LET 7s, then it goes by 5s, 3s, and then 1s. Second semester would be LET 8s, 6s, 4s, and 2s. From there I then broke it down by alphabetical order, A through Z. To the right, we have 5 columns that I created, one for each event. We have the 5 events, the mile run, shuttle run, V-sit, curl-ups, and pull-ups. We also have 3 blocks. We have Alpha Company, Bravo, and Charlie. We have a scorekeeper in each block that keeps a hold of the roster so that when the cadets finish the event, they approach the scorekeeper, they give them the LET level, they locate the LET level, and then from there, they find their name, and then they write it under the corresponding event that they participated in. In addition to creating the roster, I also had to keep up with it. Being the personnel officer, it's my duty to keep up with all information of sorts of the cadets. Obviously, we have cadets that transfer in from other schools. Some of our cadets this year have transferred to other schools. We have cadets who are disenrolled over the semester simply because they're uninterested in the program or they have disciplinary issues. So I have to keep up with it and make sure that they're removed or added to the roster. This is a template that was used from last year's class, where it was just straight up alphabetical order. A part of my improvement plan, the intent of adding the LET level was to make the JUMS process easier, because within JUMS we can narrow the search down by LET level. So all I have to do is search up the LET level and then find their name alphabetically, and then we can input the scores from the sheets. That was my contribution to the Continuous Improvement Project, subject to any of your questions.
So, in terms of inputting the actual scores on the events, can you do that yourself?
Not specifically me. It's more along the lines of the S3, but that was kind of a job that we all split up this year, and we did, each staff member participated in the input of the scores.
Doesn't really matter as long as somebody does it. Normally it is.
And I will be followed by the S2.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Cadet Captain Priest, S2. Excuse me. One of my contributions to the Cadet Challenge this year was keeping track of the first aid kit, just in case any cadets were injured, to ensure their safety, and ensuring that keys were available to the S4 just in case you need to access the supplies. Improving the equipment checklist by making sure that all the columns were filled out properly, and checking equipment after each event was completed to make sure that they were still intact. And this is the challenge sheet that we used. It does not have any information on it yet. Here's column for items withdrawn, you initial and the date, and then when you're finished, you put the name of the item right there and return. Initial again, date, and then I will verify it myself. Subject to your questions.
Was there a problem in the past then that you decided to come up with this form? I mean, what problems did you see with equipment previously?
Well, other than them being misplaced, such as the stopwatches, where cadets would forget to take them back to the locker, they would leave them sitting around thinking that other people would need to use them, but they end up not using them, so they get lost and we have to buy more. Any more questions?
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Long Beach, California. Is that all? Now I'll be followed by the S3, Cadet Captain Cruz.
Good morning. I'm Cadet Captain Cruz, the S3, Operations and Training Officer for the Pioneers Battalion. My intent for Improving Cadet Challenge was to add Cadet Challenge dates into our monthly calendars to plan and execute on time. That way cadets would understand what events were going on what days, when the makeup days were for those events, and our goals for completion. Another intent for mine was to input scores into the jump system for digital records. That way, in case anyone needed to access them, they would not have to chase down a hard paper copy. Also, it was to train leaders on proper use of the equipment, such as yardsticks, shuttle run blocks, stopwatches, and the mats. Here's our January calendar for this year, and the last week of the month was our cadet challenge. The 25th was our day one. Our goal for this was 87% completion on our shuttle run and 1 mile. The reason we had 87% completion on these events is because that's the events that most cadets do not want to do. It's the hardest out of the events, and it's also on a Monday, in case cadets forgot to bring clothing. Tuesday was our uniform wear day. Then Wednesday was our day two, which was our V-sit and curl-ups with a 89% completion goal. Also, our shuttle run and mile run makeup day for anyone who forgot to bring clothing or was absent on Monday. Day three was Thursday with a 92% completion goal of pull-ups and flexed arm hang with V-sit and curl-ups for makeup. And the reason our percentage goal goes up throughout the week is because the more you do it, the more cadets will remember to bring clothing and participate to go ahead and get it out of the way. And then finally, on the 29th was our full cadet challenge makeup day. And that is for anyone who was absent throughout the week, needed to make up anything, wanted to improve a score for themselves, or just anything to redo. Subject to any questions? I will be followed by the S4, Cadet First Lieutenant Bautista.
Good morning. I am Cadet First Lieutenant Bautista. I am the Assistant S4 Supply Officer. My contribution is to distribute the equipment and also to return all the equipment on the right place and at the right time. For example, this year, we have to choose an upperclassman. So when it's time for the cadet challenge, we want, like the battalion commander said, we want to get the cadet challenge within 5 days. So in order to do that, we have to choose an upperclassman so they will have the equipment ready, which our equipments are the stopwatch, the blocks, the mat, and we have to get them ready so when it's time for the block to come, we already have them ready. And also when we see when it's 5 or 10 minutes before the bell ring, that same person that got the equipment ready have to return the equipment at the locker room or in Colonel's classroom. So when the next block comes in, they'll be ready to start and get started with the cadet challenge. Because if we don't have them ready, then it will slow us down and we will not be. It will take more days for the cadet to finish. And also this year we assign a med kit and refreshments. Also, the reason why we do that is because if we go outside and do the mile run or we do the shuttle run, sometimes some people will get hurt. An easier way to do that, to take us less time and we don't have to send them here to the RO building, we just have a med kit ready out there and it'll be faster for us to get over with. And also, if some student need a drink of water, we will not have to send them down here and take 10 minutes to walk from here then back to the track, and we just have the water ready out there, and it will take less time for us. And subject to your questions.
Have you sustained any injuries this year?
No, sir.
They don't let us down. They don't let us down.
from?
Yes.
I'm from Guatemala.
Guatemala.
Okay. I'll be followed by the S5.
Good morning, I'm the S5, Cadet First Sergeant C. My contribution to the continuous improvement plan was maintaining the school website and the JROTC page. In doing that, I make sure all information on this site and the page is up to date and accurate. Now, we also have another website for the battalion, Shutterfly. This website is essentially the same thing as our page on the school website, except that this page, we are able to use email addresses to give upperclassmen information that they would need, such as for Cadet Challenge, we can give them information on what will be happening on specific days. That way they can go ahead and start preparing for that themselves and on how to conduct that. It also has a calendar on here, such here we have Cadet Challenge. That's all the information needed. We also have a new PT book that helps demonstrate the PT positions and all of the stretches and such. I'm also responsible for the social media, such as Facebook, Twitter, and all the other things for the battalion. Subject to your questions.
You get it paid for sure?
No, sir.
Free?
Yes, sir.
You said you had a new book for PG positions to show it.
Yes, sir.
What book, can you tell me what book it is that you use?
It is the First Sergeant's PT book. It helps demonstrate all the positions and how to conduct those exercises.
It's not a new regulation or anything, just to help his mind at ease. Our old book was falling apart. Last year, the binder was falling apart, so when he says a new book, we rebuilt the standard PT book into a new binder. So it's dressed up nicer, but it's process improvement on their part.
Any further questions? Okay. I will be followed by the S6, Cadet Captain Moody.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Cadet Captain Chloe Moody. I'm the S6, the Communications Officer. One of my main goals in this battalion was to increase communication throughout the battalion, and one of the ways I've done that it also helped the Cadet Challenge was better notice ahead of time of the Cadet Challenge and when it was taking place. And I did that through my daily announcements. My daily announcements consist of one in-rank question, one chain of command, and one trivia question, with the trivia question being related to either the in-rank or chain of command. Another aspect of communication I also helped was I also distribute the operation order. This allowed cadets to know what event was happening on which day of the week and to be better prepared. I also assisted in all blocks. As previously stated by the S4, a cadet in each block was assigned keeping track with all those supplies. I was that cadet in both blocks, in 3rd and 4th. And it also just allowed better communication through each block, to each of the staffs in each block. This is a sample of my announcements for the start of the Cadet Challenge Week. You can see at the top it says Monday, 25th or 25 January. That's the first day of the Cadet Challenge. And as you can see, the in-rank, chain of command, and trivia question. The trivia question is related to the chain of command, and the reason for that is because, as previously stated in the S5's brief, the S5 was responsible for demonstrating all of the Cadet Challenge events and everything. So all the blocks needed to know who that was, and that's what that's related for. And as you see, number 1, it says Cadet Challenge starts today, and our goal is to finish this week. Make sure you bring PT clothes every day this week except Tuesday, which again is formal uniform day. That was in the announcements every day of that week, and it was also included in Friday's announcements from the previous week. Subject to your questions. I will be followed by Cadet Major Jeeves.
Good morning. My name is Cadet Major Ashley Cheese. I'm the Battalion Executive Officer. Before we go into the conclusion of the brief, I will be discussing the milestones and benchmarks that we set, that we decided worked best for Cadet Challenge. December 12th, we collected the data from the prior years. That way we could compare what to go off of, what we could improve on. January 25th through the 29th was the actual dates that we conducted the Cadet Challenge, which consists of the 5 events, the mile. January 31st, we finished inputting the scores into JOMS. February 16th, we formed the data into graphs, and then like I said, we discussed what we could do well, what we could do better. March 15th, we compared the data and we reflected to compare it to put onto this brief. And today, March 22nd, 2016, we are presenting our improvement plan for the Cadet Challenge. And this is the response phase, the questions and discussion. This gives you guys a chance to ask myself or any of my staff any questions about what you guys had for their part of their improvement plan. So subject to your questions.
Using this data, if you are going to continue this continuous improvement plan, I mean, with the data you collected and how well it went, do you have any improvements for next year or to plan for to make it better?
Like the data input?
I mean, anything that you have done, preparing for this, that went well or didn't go well, I mean, what areas are you going to try to improve on for next year to continue this?
Well, of course, the time for input scores, that was the main thing that we tried to do. The input into JOMS, that's what the S3 does. And the S1, his contribution was to assist in the spreadsheets, where he was talking about the let levels and like...
If I might you have to understand the layout of the brief. We had a hard time understanding the layout of the brief. Up to this phase, it's purely plan. What is your plan? Nothing else. You're about to get the second part of the brief, which means that first graph you saw, that second graph will have additional data points on it that shows the improvement. She is done with the first part of the plan, and she said you're welcome to ask any of the staff members about their portion of the plan. So this is the plan going in. After this, it becomes the execution.
So if there's no further questions, I'll be followed by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Danu, which is our battalion commander. He will go into the response and execution phase.
I'll be going through with you for the conclusion or reflection portion of this briefing. As you can see here, this is the previous data sheet we had earlier of the brief. Red and blue are from last year, and these orange points are from the first semester. As you can see, in the second semester we improved immensely, and I think we've done the best our battalion has done. And we've reached about a 97% rate of participation among cadets, and all of those cadets were included in the JROTC.